Welcome back to Drunk on Writing and the latest episode of the Drunk on Writing Show, brought to you in part through the patronage of Ariya, Norinth, and TheCinephiliac. How do you like our set? It's I kind of spiffed it up a bit since last time. Got a new mic stand that I made. Hopefully that ends up working out and the audio is not too crappy. I did not like the audio last time, so I set to work almost
And the
immediately
camera's
after.
on.
Huh?
The camera's on this time?
Yeah, the camera's on. At least so far, the camera's on. No, the camera was off. What was it, our third segment last time? I will make sure of that. That's why I really want a camcorder, because again, this camera only records in like 24-minute intervals.
Yeah.
So every 24 minutes or so, I have to stand up and go reset it, which reminds me, I didn't put on the little timer. But that's okay. We're going along with this.
Yeah.
It is pain in the butt. It really is. But, it's all part of the growth process. And I tried out the 4K camera, obviously, last time and did not work out. So, it's on the list of things to get to.
Yeah.
I'm more interested always in the content. As long as the content's fine.
Yeah.
As long as the audio is fine, especially. People can see us in 4K. It's not going to make that much of a difference.
No.
It's really not. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we are, and I think it looks okay. We'll see how the lighting works. Got the lights over here. Got the lights back here. I think that's enough. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I kind of added a little bit to the set here and there to kind of make it pop a little bit more, but I think it'll work out. So Kim, how are you doing? I feel like, as always, I'm just talking.
I'm doing well. It's been a long week and it's only Tuesday, so we're gonna see how that goes.
It's been a long week.
It has.
And it's only Tuesday.
That's right. That's right.
That's bad.
It's not great.
Yeah.
We're getting through it though.
Well,
how about you?
At least tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day.
Tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to be making Irish nachos for dinner, so that's kind of
I wanted to get soda bread. I saw it at the store today when I went to pick up bacon.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I get that? I decided not to, because I don't want to eat just a whole loaf of bread by myself, because apparently nobody else likes it but me.
Yeah, I don't. I don't care for it.
You are part Irish?
A very little part, yes. Yeah.
Okay, you just don't like Irish food. You don't like German food. You don't like any European food other than really Italian.
Yeah, not really. I'm not a big fan.
I mean, I don't know what to say about that.
I like other cuisine. It's not.
Do you like any other European food other than Italian?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
I don't know. I'm trying to go through the countries.
I don't think European food is necessarily known for being great, because a lot of it.
French
food.
Yeah,
French is weird. I mean, they eat slugs, so we're not going to count the French. We're
yeah, but you can say that.
We're just going to discount them.
Okay.
We're just going to discount them. I'm part French. I'm going to say let's discount them, because French food is. I've had French food and it's kind of weird. It's not my favorite. I don't like it. But I do like a lot of Germanic foods. A lot of Germanic food, which is basically like sausages and different kind of things like that, and stews. What?
When we went to France, though, and to this day.
Oh, that was a good meal.
Yes.
What did I only had the one meal, right? It was it was
we
toast
also
with like a smoked fish on it. I don't remember what it was. And then you and Matthew had a pizza that you were like, oh my God. So Matthew was about 3 at the time, 4 at the time?
4.
He was 4. And he ate, what was that, 16-inch
like
pizza?
No,
12-inch pizza?
Yeah.
He ate like the whole thing on his own. He's never eaten pizza like that before or since.
Yeah.
And he just devoured that. It was amazing. I've never seen him eat like that. I was just like, wow. It was just some random place. It was a few blocks away from the Eiffel Tower, went across one of the bridges. It was like on a corner somewhere. And it was just like a random place. And
yeah, but
really
we also had
the dessert.
And we had the crepes.
Well, crepes is a dessert, no?
Yeah. But we
Did we have breakfast crepes? No, we only had the dessert crepes. Right?
Dessert, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The crepes they were really good. And we had those pastries, the little tiny.
Yeah. Well, remember we stopped for a croissant in the beginning when we first got
Oh,
there?
because we were starving.
Well, because
So
we left at like 4 a.m.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was croissant. Oh, it was a croissant.
But how are you?
I'm okay. You know, as you said, it's Tuesday. I have Thursday off, which I like having days off. Days off are nice, and
Days off are nice.
I haven't really taken any
Yeah.
this month, and it turns out that I have to. By the end of the month, I have to take off a certain amount of days, or else I just lose them. I don't lose days. That's one of my rules, is that I do not allow myself to lose days. So like,
Yeah.
I was on a call with my CMO, and he's like, "Oh, Warren, I sense that you have some days to take off," because I was on camera and whatnot, and I'm like, "Yeah," and he goes, "You don't want to lose them." I looked him dead in the camera. I was like, "I don't lose days."
Yeah.
I'm sure I take days off. That's part of the compensation package.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna take off.
You should. You're entitled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why you would ever give time back to the company? Come on. No. We're gonna take that time off. So I mean, the newest season of Fortnite just started, so we'll maybe I'll be playing that. I don't know.
Doing the taxes.
Yeah, I got to do the taxes. I also have to do Matthew's room. So there's a lot that I have to do right now.
Yeah.
And I realized just now that with my notes open, I can't silence all notifications. So they're probably going to get picked up on the microphone. So that's something I'm going to have to work out.
Yeah.
What you been playing or listening to or watching? I feel like you've been watching a lot of stuff without me specifically, because I've been playing a lot because of Fortnite, because of stuff that's going on, and also just the end of the season. So it's like whenever the end of the season comes in, it kind of gets exciting. Now the new season's here, and it actually launched today, and I was just like, meh. It was okay.
You didn't enjoy it as much as last season?
Last season was the beginning of last season was a good season. Last season in general of Fortnite, it felt like they just ran out of steam. It felt like a Nintendo console,
right,
as a Fortnite season, where Nintendo launches really strong and helps support it and like throws out a title or two, and then they're just silent for like 4 years until their next console inevitably drops, which is not as good as you would ever hoped it to be, and that's what Fortnite Battle Pass is this season.
So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
you take season off and then you'll get back into it.
Exactly. You know.
Yeah.
I do that.
You'll get into
time,
Spider-Man now.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say it when I got to me, but we're still talking. I played Spider-Man PS4 again, the New Game Plus. I just kind of plowed through the campaign. I kind of ignored all of the side things because I had already done them, and I just wanted the trophy for the New Game Plus and the Ultimate difficulty, which wasn't really that hard to get because I maxed out everything. So it was fairly simple trophies to get. But now I just started Miles Morales, which is a PS5 game. And
it seems like you and Matthew both really enjoyed
the opening is fantastic.
Man.
It's so good. We were just sitting there in awe. It was just so cool.
Yeah.
The beginning of the game, and we're playing it now, and it's the same map, but what they did was basically drop snow on top of it because they're saying, "Oh, it's Christmas now." It's nice. It's nice. It looks a lot prettier on the PS5. They changed Peter Parker, which was a little weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made him different. I don't like the character models generally in the first Spider-Man game. I would hesitate to call this the second one, but I guess it is. It's kind of a spin-off. The character models always looked funny. They're just off.
Yeah.
They're better in this one, I would think, but I only saw Spider-Man for like, I don't know, a couple minutes in like Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Right, yeah.
I only saw him for a couple of minutes, and after just playing the PS4 one, I'm like, that's not Peter Parker. It was a little weird. I think it'll be better when I play the original on the PS5 again eventually. Then it'll
You're
be
talking down the
sure.
line.
Yeah, well, I'll play it. I'll play it when Spider-Man 2 starts to come out. Then I'll play it again, to get the trophies on the PS5. Yes, I'm a trophy whore. I play it in a minute. I don't care. I have my trophy glass. Where is my trophy glass? I think it's in there.
Yeah, it's in there, I think.
It's in there. So, what about you? I asked you originally.
Yeah, I don't know how we got to that, but I have listened to a couple podcasts, the same two ones that I've been listening, I mentioned on here a bazillion times. Listen to a couple of that. I have been really into Lucifer.
It seems like every time I just go to do something for, even if it will take me like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
you bust out Lucifer, and now you're watching it on your phone, which is new. I've never seen you watch it on your phone before.
Well, I started doing it on my phone because I watch it on the treadmill. So I downloaded Netflix and
Which, caveat to that, when we put the treadmill where we put it, I said, hey, we'll probably want a TV there, right? Let me run a TV there. And you're like, no, don't want no TV there. Why would I want a TV there? I'm running. I want to concentrate on the running. I'm like, okay. Years later, as usually happens.
It would be nice, a TV.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
No, but I've been really liking Lucifer. But a little bit of Floor is Lava with Matthew.
How far into Lucifer are you?
I am on season 3.
Oh my god. How many episodes are there in a season?
A lot. Like 22, 23.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I made this comment the other day. Like, I wish they were. And this, I don't know if this is a popular opinion or not, but I wish they were less.
Because why? Because you don't enjoy the episodes? Do you think there's filling, or do you just want to get on with the story?
I want to know what happens with Chloe and Lucifer. I don't really care about the rest. Yeah, but it's my own.
That is a thing. I mean, you get, so for me, like I'll watch, like the Netflix Marvel series are a good example of this, where there was like those handful of episodes where you're like, they didn't need to be in there.
Yeah,
they're filler. Like, let's just focus on the main storyline. And I think American television in general has kind of steered over to that model of the shorter seasons, shorter, more fulfilling seasons, really. But I don't think Lucifer had made the cut there yet.
No. I don't know. I just it's an interesting show. It really is, because I am rooting for this woman to be with the devil. Like, it's really good. Cuz you like him. I like him. I want good things for him. And that's just,
I mean, that's fine. I mean,
but it seems so wrong. It seems so wrong.
Well, from just based on what you were telling me, isn't his like grandfather or his father like the devil, and then he's like,
no,
like
his father is God.
Oh, his father is God.
His father is God.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he is straight up.
He is the devil. Yes, cast out of heaven.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be rooting for him.
I want him to get together with her so bad. So bad. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to happen. I know it. I can feel it.
Okay. All right. I mean, this feels like what was it, Bella and what was the vampire guy from Twilight?
Edward? This is worse than that. This is worse than that. This is the devil, right? And I just want them to be together. That's it. Period.
Okay.
I also want him to show his true form, but,
The devil's true form?
Yeah. He's going to show her his face. His devil face.
That seems like a bad idea.
No. She needs to accept him fully.
How do you accept the devil? Well,
I mean, she will.
Well, is he like demonic, or is he like an angel? Like, what's
both?
Okay, he's a demonic angel.
No, he could be one or the other.
Oh,
he could be the devil. So, I feel like it's spoilers a little bit, though.
Okay.
I feel like I'm getting into spoiler territory.
How old is this show?
It started in 2016 or 2017, and it's still going.
Okay. All right. Then we'll leave it there.
Yeah, I feel like.
Okay. All right. we'll just stop there. And another show we've been watching, very much is The
The
Good
Good
Place.
Place. Also another heaven
Yes.
and hell show.
Which we had started, I
Yeah.
think, just in the last episode. So let's kind of give an update here. I didn't. So I was really hesitant on the show on the Good Place at first. I was like not feeling it. I was like, okay, I guess I get what they're going for here, but like, it's not hooking me. The hook came at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
And since then, it's been fantastic.
We want to watch it.
Yes, I want to watch it, but I feel like it took too long to get there. There should have been.
I don't know. I enjoyed the first season. I have to disagree with
The
you.
first season was fine. I just didn't think it was.
The first couple episodes were tough to get through.
Yeah.
Like I remember sitting down. I'm like, I don't know what I feel about this.
It was
show.
such a slow progression, and now it's like whiplash. Like everything is fast.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And it seems like every episode, it's completely changed, and like they are facing like a new obstacle, and it's kind of pretty neat. Especially with the random guest stars that are popping in now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Some really cool things coming for The Good Place.
So I think.
But again, like, are we spoiling?
No, we're not spoiling.
Okay.
So we're about halfway through the series already, though.
Yeah, we are.
So maybe next month we'll do like a spoiler discussion, like we did with New Girl. Yeah. I don't know, just for fun, because we're gonna have to pick another show. I think sooner than we had to with New Girl, because again.
It's only 4 seasons.
It's only 4 seasons, and they're only like 13 episode seasons. So it's not like New Girl had like 20 some odd episodes per season. I really want to finish watching Cheers. There was a nice Cheers homage within this series that I really enjoyed. But
I mean, is it a Cheers homage?
I mean, he's a bartender. He's sitting there being a bartender. That's a Cheers homage, because what is he known for? Being a bartender. Yes, that is 100% an homage.
Okay.
Just saying it is. I mean, there's not really a question.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't think there's been a whole lot otherwise that I've watched or played.
Yeah.
I finished The Founder. Did I talk about Manhunter? I think I talked about Manhunter.
Yeah.
And I think that's really much been it, because I've been doing stuff.
Yeah. Which is good. We've gotten a lot accomplished.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, why don't we just jump into our
Absolutely.
first topic?
Let's do it.
Did you have something to say?
No, let's jump right in.
All right, here we go. So, Kim, we tend to stay away from political topics as the founding principle of the show,
right?
Because we want to be as inclusive as possible, and some people just can't handle it from all sorts of shapes and sizes. But what I want to talk about today I don't feel it is a political issue. It is. But it shouldn't be. And that is the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, which is currently, as of this moment, set at $7.25. That is the federal minimum wage. I'll have a couple quick facts to throw out here. Current federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Had the federal minimum wage kept pace with workers' productivity since 1968, the inflation-adjusted minimum wage would be $24 an hour.
Yeah.
In 2019, the Bureau of Labor Statistics estimated that 392,000 workers received minimum wage. That is less than 0.5% of workers paid hourly. So it's not exactly a big portion of workers that this is affecting. So, under 400,000. Yet, raising the federal minimum wage to $15 by 2025, which was the most recent proposed bill, would have increased the salary of 20% of wage-earning Americans. I am a big proponent of increasing the minimum wage. Just as a general principle, I think it should be something that is set. I do think that if allowed, the full market would dictate what should be out there, and that's kind of happened in corporations. I mean, generally people aren't hired at $7.25 an hour. I mean, that's usually reserved for, I don't know, people working at mom and pop shops on Main Street, right? Or
well, you would think.
Yeah. So But, we haven't talked about this, so I'd love to hear your take here on minimum wage, and I'll go on further when we bounce back to me.
I mean, I think I think it's looked at as a very complicated issue because I think
Mm-hmm.
the biggest argument is, well, if you raise minimum wage, you got to raise everybody else's wage. I think that's generally the statement that's put out there. But I support raising the minimum wage. I mean, I think a majority of the population that's impacted, that's making minimum wage, is adults. It's not kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's not teenagers living at home. It's adults between, I think, the ages of 25 and 40 or so. That fact is definitely probably wrong, and a lot of it's women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So
It's
with
very,
children.
very much more so women and women of color too. So
Mhm.
it's like it's very much this targeted population that it is still making
Yeah.
minimum wage despite everything that's going on. Um,
But I mean, I look at it and I remember, God, when I was coming out of college, I had a job that I started at minimum wage then. Um,
Coming out of college.
well, so I started the job when I was in high school, and I think I was paid six something, right? And Connecticut always has had a little bit higher of a minimum wage than some of the other states. It was never at federal level, right? And so I was making around six something, and by the time I ended the job, I was making around 10. And I think about that, and that was right when I got out of college, before I got my first real position. It's kind of sad because I'm making more than
Mm-hmm.
the federal minimum wage is, what, 12, 13 years later?
Mm-hmm.
So something needs to get done. I don't have the solution. I
I
don't
mean,
I don't have a solution to make everybody happy,
well, I mean,
right?
this has been the minimum wage for what, like 30 years now, right?
Is it that long?
I think it was set in 1990s, and like 1994, I think was the last time it was increased to this amount, something like that. Um, one thing that bothers me about the minimum wage conversation that we've been having recently, just not we, but the collective we, has been what you kind of touched on is, well, if they get a raise, shouldn't everyone get a raise?
Well, I'm not saying that
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. I'm saying that's the general argument
I
that I've
know.
heard.
I know.
Yeah.
I hear that argument all the time. And it's such a stupid argument. It is the most
Well,
asinine thing. Well, so the concept here, right, is like, okay, so you're making $20 an hour, and you're like, I'm making good money compared to those guys who are making dirt because they're only making $7.25 an hour, or the people at McDonald's are making, $12.50 an hour. But if they get their raise up to $15 an hour, shouldn't I get paid more for what I'm doing? Now, here's the thing that bothers me about this is you're saying just because you have maybe a lower wage than you should have, that everybody else should also suffer with you. Like you should also have a higher wage. Yes. You shouldn't say, let's all be suppressed. Let's all pick ourselves up, because if you are making $20 an hour, I got to spoil you for a second. You're making less than the minimum the minimum wage should be today. So yes, you are still making not enough. You should be making more money. Yes. I mean, that's clear facts. Yes. And at some point there is going to be a taper off. So I have one other statistic I want to throw in here. Um, Here, where
well,
is it?
hold on. The problem with that statement
Okay, go ahead.
is that they're not going to raise the wage
Hmm.
of that person who's making $20,
Then
who went to college, who has a degree, who they're not going to do it.
then you gotta find another job, and let
I
the market dictate it.
I think that's a lot easier said than
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
And
maybe it is, but you know what? You gotta attract talent with the right pay. And if suddenly your minimum wage for just working, not having a college degree is $15 an hour. Yeah, having a college degree means you're more valuable now.
But I think you are simplifying it.
Of course I am.
And
for argument's sake, yes.
But
Yeah.
but that won't be the reality.
Mm.
That won't be the reality, right? So you went to college, you have this degree, you are being paid, I don't know, $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum wage gets increased. Now you're making. Is your company going to look at that and say, all right, based on our skills and and what's going on in your market, we're going to raise your pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I feel everybody should be doing, and looking at the employees and looking at, okay, if the minimum wage is raised, right? Non-educated workers, which I'm not saying don't have a right to get paid $15 an hour. They absolutely do. But what now am I going to pay my educated, skilled employee?
And they should do that. That's a conversation that they're going to have.
What regulation is going to be put out there that says companies...
There is no regulation. And that's where the capitalistic nature of our system comes into play, where it's about the free market and letting that dictate. So if you can make $15 an hour working at McDonald's and you want to go work at McDonald's, feel free to go work at McDonald's.
Absolutely.
Personally, I would not go work at McDonald's because I don't want to do that. That job seems harder to me than my job right now. And just not in mind power, just you got to stand there and make fries and get all grease covered and whatnot. I don't want to do that. Well, that's not something I want.
You're not somebody who likes to deal with the public.
No, I don't want to deal with the public. No, I want to stay in my little dungeon, and I want to huddle in front of my desk, and I want to code my web pages. That's what I want to do, and I want to get paid accordingly because I produce. In other people's eyes, it's like magic, and that's what I like, and that's what I want to do. But the pay should adjust accordingly. Yes, it 100% should. It won't necessarily, and maybe not quickly. And this happens every single time that the minimum wage is increased. Now, I want to float an idea by you because I'm more in favor of this than I am a minimum wage. I'm in favor of a concept where I'm just going to call it the maximum wage. Mm-hmm. I think that we should have a maximum wage, not just a base number, but a number tied to the minimum wage by a percent. So say, and not a federal thing, but like by company. So I think a company's the head of a company, usually a CEO, maybe a chair or something, should make X proportion amount of the person at the base level of the company to split, just to share up the profits. I've seen some companies have done this, and they seem to have very good results. Instituting that on a federal level is pretty much never going to happen.
No.
But I really do like the idea, and this is why. Now, based on the year-over-year change in Jeff Bezos's net worth, Bezos made $152,207 per minute and $2,537 per second. That is 1.3 million times the federal minimum wage.
Yeah.
That's how much he made. And that is a crime. That is a straight up crime. That should not be allowed. The system is so broken that we can allow someone like Jeff Bezos as the head of Amazon, who doesn't really do anything now. I mean, he basically retired and he's chair now, so he's living that sweet life and just living off his stock. It's nice.
Yeah.
You should pass so there's the theory, the trickle down economics theory, which has been disproven time and again, but people still seem to cling on to it like a life preserver, where the rich are going to get richer, and they're going to pass the money down. It clearly does not happen because during the pandemic and just the last year, the top 1% have just gotten astronomically richer, while I think anybody else who's probably watching this has maybe seen things not as nice. You know, nobody's making 40 times what they made 2 years ago from a general public perspective.
Yeah.
But some people are, because they're milking it off the system, and they're not getting taxed. They're taking all these breaks. They know all the loopholes. They can hire everybody with the loopholes. Everything is designed to keep these people rich and make them richer all the time. And fighting against the minimum wage is exactly what they want you to do. They want you to be like, hey, I'm making $20 an hour. I can't let this teenager come in here and make $15 an hour doing like nothing and not having gone to college. That's what they want you to say, and ignore the fact that they are sucking up all the cash and just sticking it in their coffers. There's no trickle down.
Yeah.
They pay each other.
Yeah.
And because they own everything, so they get all the little systems, they get all the little things, and they're just making each other richer while the rest of us are just left out here to fight for scraps. Something has to be done. Minimum wage, I think, is a partial step toward that. That seemed apparently impossible to get, which I also found funny because they cut that out of the bill, right? The minimum wage thing. Right. I don't think it happened.
No idea.
But the whole point of scrapping that was so that they can get enough votes to get the whole thing in.
Yeah.
And yet, we just saw the COVID relief bill got only Democrats voted for it. Not a single Republican voted for it. So they made this bargain to remove the federal minimum wage adjustment from the deal to try to get people to vote for it, and nobody voted for it anyway. So like, why even try at this point? Try to go progressive. Hit them where it hurts and try to do well by the American people at this point.
Well, you're saying it's not political, and it's absolutely political.
It is political, but it shouldn't be.
But
like, this isn't a thing that should be political at this point.
Yeah. No, I agree. It shouldn't be. A lot of things are political that shouldn't be political. Because people make it political. That's the bottom line. Mm-hmm. So if you stop making it political, it won't be. But until you get you get politicians who share that philosophy, it will be political. That's what it comes down to, you know?
Not gonna lie, I think one of the first things that they really need to do is just get term limits in there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people agree with you.
Yeah.
And I think
except probably the senators and the representatives.
So Senator Ted Cruz has
that introduced
a bill introducing that term limits. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll see where that goes.
I found that very interesting. I don't really get why he, of all people.
I mean, I don't think it's Republicans think this way, Democrats think this way.
I'm not saying it was Republican. I'm thinking it's specifically Ted Cruz who's.
But maybe he doesn't want to do it forever. Maybe.
I mean, he could just stop. Nobody's forcing him to.
Sure, but I think he probably sees.
You think he needs a bill on the books and a law on the thing saying like, I can only do this for 8 hours? I'll be like, guys, all right, I need to step out now. This is my last term.
No, I don't. But I think, I don't know. I think he did a good thing, right? He introduced this bill.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The minimum wage isn't getting increased right now, and I just think it's a disservice. I mean, there's a lot of disservices going on in the last year, but it's just another one, and I think it's a shame, and it although it does get people to do stuff like this, create the drunken writing show, so sure. I guess that's a part of people have to be creative to try to make that extra buck to live. So I don't know if we should be celebrating that, but it's something to celebrate.
And a lot of people who have tried these ideas because they need to have made it rich.
I saw this one thing not that long ago criticizing specifically women who went on OnlyFans and started OnlyFans accounts.
I don't know what that is.
You know what OnlyFans is?
Nope.
So it's kind of like Patreon, but it can be completely risque, and it has a different payment. But I haven't really looked into it because I'm not going on OnlyFans.
Yeah, have you?
No.
Yeah.
So but from what I understand, a lot of people kind of equate it to like sex work, right? But there are people who, like, I think one that was in the New York Post, I think she was an EMS worker who moonlighted with OnlyFans, and they did a whole spotlight profile on her, even though she wasn't asked about it beforehand or wasn't warned, and
Yeah.
like clearly did not want her two parts of her lives meeting, because I think she got fired afterwards. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but like our country's got some issues.
All countries.
We gotta fix it.
All countries have
a lot
issues.
of countries right now.
All countries have issues.
Mm-hmm.
Some worse than others.
Yeah, clearly.
You can argue that our problems are not as bad as other places.
Yeah.
So, I think
At least we have a minimum wage, I suppose, right?
absolutely.
I mean, you look at like China, where all of our factories are, and they're dirt cheap for a reason.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We live a pretty good life considering.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and we are still despite everything that's been happening, we're still in the best time of history
Yeah, absolutely.
ever, which is kind of like
Crazy to think about.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
We're still living the longest.
Yeah.
Infant mortality rate is still at generally the lowest it's ever been. Globally, it is at its lowest. Like, it's wild. It's wild. History is wild. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's go on to topic number 2.
All right, sounds good. What's topic number 2?
This one comes from our lovely patron, TheCinephiliac.
Mm-hmm.
And I've summed it up as generally strong plot versus strong characters. I might, even for the title, just shorten it to plot versus characters.
Right.
Now, TheCinephiliac says, I tend to like strong characters for films and novels, as my favorite book is The Stand and favorite author Elmore Leonard. Good picks, TheCinephiliac. Both of which are very character-driven. For flash fiction shorts, though, I prefer a tight plot since less time is available to bond with characters. Pull a gun on me and I say strong characters, but honestly, for me, it's a toss-up. And, you know, I gotta say, I've been thinking about this since TheCinephiliac posted this, I think, late last week, and I don't really know where I stand. I was trying to think of like my favorite films, my favorite books, and I think all of them are mixes. They're both plot and character driven, and I don't think that I personally could like something like at the top of my list that is just one or the other. Like, thinking back on the video club.
Right.
We watched Independence Day last month. Very much a plot driven.
Yeah.
Very little character development there.
Absolutely.
Not one of my favorites, but it like I enjoy it for what it is. But then I look at something like The Brothers Karamazov, which is one of my favorite books ever. Very much character driven, but also like if somebody said like what are your top 5s, I probably wouldn't. I just said it was one of my favorite books that I've ever read, but I probably wouldn't put it in my top 5 just because I'm like, it's a really thick book. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of density there. It's just a lot of like the characters struggling with each other and learning and just adapting. Like, I wouldn't necessarily say like, if you were asking me like 5 books that you must read, right. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend that. The Stand is a very good example where it's very character driven, but it's also very plot driven as well. I mean, the whole book starts off with a virus escaping and killing everybody, basically, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't say that the book is character driven when it's so plot driven, but it's both, and that's what Stephen King does very well. He balances characters with the plot until the plot inevitably just peters out toward the end, which doesn't always happen. You know, that's a thing with King. That's his kind of, he's known for having weak endings. Where I'm at in the Stephen King books, he's not quite there yet. This is maybe one or 2 books, but generally, Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about this earlier, but I just finished I'm on the 2019 film version of Pet Sematary, which really changed things up, and I really like it. and I'm doing the dissection on it now after finishing off the radio drama, and it's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean that one is. I think that I would say Pet Cemetery in particular is more plot driven than character. But like you look at something like Shawshank Redemption,
Yeah,
where I would say that that's more character driven.
that is more character driven
You
for
know,
sure.
so I don't know where I fall on.
I think I fall in character driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I, thinking about the things that I've read and watched, I get invested with the people
Well, I mean,
more
yeah, you were
than
talking about Lucifer. Like, I don't care about what happens. I
I,
just want them to get together.
well, and even, but like, okay, take the relationship, them getting together out. Like, he has grown so much as a person, as a human, and he's not, and I like him. I like him. He's not a bad person. So this show has made me root for the devil. It's so weird to say, but yes.
I love how we keep just coming back to this.
But okay, New Girl.
Okay.
All right. Think about New Girl, and I love New Girl, and I love all of the characters in New Girl. However, one thing that we've talked about is the one character who had the least character development for most of the show
Winston.
was Winston. And Winston was just there.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. The three carried that show. Even four, you could, cause Cece. And it wasn't until maybe the final, 2, 3 seasons that they did something with his character.
Yeah.
And I think that was a result of they originally had Coach and they weren't like planning on Winston, and they were really trying to figure out what they were supposed to do with this character. It wasn't planned, and it kind of showed. So I think character driven is more my.
I think we can get a really easy answer to this question with. I'm gonna bring up a scenario real quick, and if the answer is yes, you are more toward one of these. Do you like? This is out to you guys too. Do you like Law and Order, or CSI, or any of those procedural kind of ongoing TV shows? Because those are absolutely 100% plot driven.
Mm-hmm.
Characters do not change. Characters do not develop. Every now and again, they'll have like a little spotlight episode. But, you know, Ice-T, right?
Yeah.
He's been playing the same character for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't change. Sometimes he's stupid. Sometimes he's smart. Sometimes he plays an instrument or sometimes. But he's basically the same character. He's not really going anywhere. It's the crime that drives the show. Crime scene investigation, right? Law and Order. Those are completely plot driven. If you enjoy that, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I think there's something kind of fun about those shows sometimes. If you're in a mindless mood and you just want to be like, who did it? Who done it? What happened to this person? And they're generally not for me. They're not for me. But some people like that kind of thing. What?
And that's why I like Lucifer, because that's exactly what it is. It's a crime-driven show, and it has character development.
Well, there you go. So you
it's
like
a procedural. It is a procedural. Which is why I say character more, because I'm just like, okay, this is another case. Like, I just want to see them get together, right? Like, but I enjoy learning who done it, right?
See, I think back on some of my favorites, like Office Space. You know, I will forever say is like my favorite movie. It's been now for 20 years, if not longer, and it's very much time capsule for that time. And you could say that it's plot driven, and it sort of is. But it's the characters that win it over. It's the quirkiness. It's the uniqueness to them. It's Peter going into work and be like, nah, I can't be in this cubicle anymore, and just taking that decision to knock down his wall, and you're like, yes, go Peter.
Yeah.
So I you know, if we're ever pitting one versus the other, for me, I would have to say, I think I would have to go with characters.
Yeah.
Because I think, okay, I got a perfect example of what proves for me that it's character. Stephen King's Under the Dome, the book, not the TV show. Simplest plot ever. Dome gets dropped on the city. Chaos ensues.
Yeah.
Very little in plot. I mean, there's a lot that goes on,
Mhm.
but it's all centered on the characters and what happens to these less than 50 odd characters that are in this town, and boils it down to like a handful. But it's all character driven, and it's one of my favorite Stephen King books.
Right.
And I've only read it the one time when it was released, and I haven't gotten there yet in the Stephen King dissections, but I really look forward to that one. It's completely character driven, and it's fantastic, and it's so well done, and I loved it. I couldn't care less about the plot. The plot devolves into the most asinine thing. I mean, and I think that's what they struggled with on the show, because you can't show all of that character, all that characterization on the TV show that you could in a book, because so much of it was internal monologue, internal thoughts, like going crazy under the stress.
I mean, you can show that. You just have to do it
but
right.
It's so nuanced and so different.
Yeah.
And especially different from what that show ended up turning into, which is, again, almost a procedural at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need something more like Lost level, and even Lost got procedurally at some point. But yeah, no, I'm definitely siding on the sides of characterization.
I do too.
I mean, characters are fun. I mean, characters are who we are. I mean, this show wouldn't be interesting if we were boring people, that people tune in to hear not just the interesting topics that we're talking about, but us, that you're coming out and saying like, oh, let's see what Warner Gibb want to talk about today.
Yeah,
we're talking about minimum wage. We're talking about characters versus plot. It's the characters that make it, and the plot is important. Don't get me wrong. The plot has to be there. There has to be at least a semblance of a plot. Even Seinfeld, which is a show about nothing, always had a plot.
Yeah.
Characters never changed. Not a character-driven show. Plot-driven show.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you start to look at things like that,
you're
like, is it a plot show or a character show? You start to look at things a little differently. Like Friends. What would you say Friends is? I
think it's kind of both.
Yeah. Depends on the episode.
I think it's both. I do.
Yeah. Especially when
goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, now I just want to talk about sitcoms. I really just want to watch a sitcom again.
We can. Well, we'll figure that out. We'll figure that out.
What is that on? Is it on Hulu? It's on Peacock.
Peacock,
I think. Peacock. I don't want to pay for Peacock.
We can find out and yeah. But any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
No.
I think I pretty much came down to. I mean, I can go back and forth on this at all times. Like, I'm thinking now of Gremlins and Gremlins 2, which very plot driven. Love those movies.
Yeah.
There are a few character moments, but nothing spectacular. The characters are pretty meaningless. Look at The Walking Dead, right? Walking Dead tried to be character driven, failed.
Yeah, but you know what? They lost me. Like, I don't care about watching that show no more.
Nobody does.
People do.
5 of them.
All right, well.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
If you watch The Walking Dead, honestly, this is serious. This is me being very serious to you right now. If you watch The Walking Dead, currently, I don't even know if it's still on the air. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch it, and you enjoy it, and you like it, and you think that we should watch it, tell me. And tell me why. Because I think the introduction of Negan, I think from there, it was just downhill.
Yeah.
And
then once Andy Lincoln, I mean, forget it.
We didn't watch to that point, though.
No, we didn't. But, yeah.
I mean, we just stopped. I think one random mid-season where our DVR messed up, and I was just like,
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. I mean, it's all on Netflix now. We could watch that.
No.
We could watch the entire thing.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Been
there, done that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about something.
How about
a little more fun?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Enola Holmes, our video club pick. Of the month. And Kim,
what did you think?
This was your. I like the movie. I really enjoyed it. I'll get more in depth on my thoughts in a moment, but I do like to know, Kim, what made you pick this movie?
Well, I enjoyed the first Sherlock that we watched here on
Yeah, I was
this
going to make a
show.
note of it that
Yeah,
this is the second of. I mean, how many? Oh, so this wasn't. So we did Sherlock Holmes when the video clips was still a patron exclusive.
yeah,
So this is your the general public's first introduction to our Sherlock. We did do Sherlock, the first Sherlock movie with Robert Downey
yeah,
Jr. We had on our video club the
right.
first 12. I don't remember where it ended up ranking, but we did like it.
We did like it. I thought this one could have been an interesting twist because it was about a female,
Hmm.
right? Female Holmes. And it piqued my curiosity. How is this person related to Sherlock?
Hmm.
And we've seen Millie Bobby Brown in
Stranger Things,
Stranger Things. So
of course.
I
I mean,
thought,
once when this was teased, I think I originally saw the trailer on Twitter
yeah,
or somewhere. I was immediately in. Just Millie Bobby Brown,
yeah,
um, Superman. What's his name? Uh,
Superman, please.
so
Um,
so
uh,
the whole time we were watching this show,
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Thank you. I'm looking at Henry Cavill. I'm like, oh yeah, and yeah, he's a Witcher. And Kim keeps saying he's not. I don't understand how he's the Witcher and here because they look completely different. I'm like
Totally. They're
makeup,
completely different.
and then I told her, I'm like, yeah, and and he's Superman. He kind of looks like, and she goes, what? And like we paused and she, what do you mean he played Superman? And I was like, in Justice League and Batman versus Superman
Yeah,
and Man of Steel, and you're like, oh my god.
it's like three different people.
So he kept saying.
Yeah. But so this was Netflix, a Netflix based on a young readers novel,
That makes sense.
right? Um, it was its debut weekend. It was the second most watched item on Netflix. And over its first 5 days, it was the most watched film on Netflix. And it would go on to become the biggest first day opening Netflix title in 2020, as well as dominating the largest number of Netflix monitored countries.
So I a quick bone to pick
Yeah.
because we they really got to figure out standardization of measurement here with all these digital platforms because the way that they just throw out word vomit
Yeah.
to make it's number one in something,
Yeah.
like who cares, like
Yep.
it's number one on Netflix. I mean, something on HBO could have,
Okay, well,
or Disney
how
could
about
have
this one?
vastly outnumbered it. But I mean, it's a known issue that if you go to a film in a movie theater, there's measurement there.
Right.
They know how much that has made. Not on
Well,
any of the streaming
how about
platforms. Okay, go ahead. Give me what it hit me with something.
um by October 2020, Netflix reported the film was on track to have 76 million households watch the film over the first 4 weeks of release.
Okay.
I don't know. It's something. It's
Yeah.
a stat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and a fun fact, a fun little, I guess, goof during the film. There is a scene where the two carriages pass each other.
Okay.
It's supposed to take place in London, but they pass each other on the wrong side of the road for London
Ha!
cars. So yeah,
When did the two carriages pass each other?
I'm not sure. I would have to go
I
back
don't remember
and
that. Yeah.
but
I mean,
yeah,
yeah. That's funny.
yeah. So and when Millie Bobby Brown shot it, she was the same age as her character is in the movie, 16.
Wow.
So
She's a really great actress.
she is,
For
yeah,
a 16-year-old, she's going
16.
places.
Yeah,
Man, I mean, just what she's done in Stranger Things. I mean,
yeah,
she's been off the charts compared to so many other people.
yeah,
Like again, I've been watching. I watched Pet Cemetery, and there's an actress in there, and she ends up being great as well. But there's like a couple like stiff scenes. And I'm like, oof.
yeah,
And I'm just like, imagine if like Billy Bobby Brown was in this. And
yeah,
like, oh, it would be that much better. She is such a great actress.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but I thought this one was interesting, right? Like it starts off with her pretty much picking up her brothers at the station, and they don't even recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
But that's how we get introduced to how, long they've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't even know what their mother's been up to. Um, And
Yeah,
it's
the whole mother dynamic was a very
really,
interesting thing,
really
and
weird to
it is
me.
one of the main issues I had with the movie.
Mm.
I never felt like I really understood why she left or where she
I
went.
think she was fighting for women's rights. I think that's really what it was. She
Okay,
was fighting for women's rights. Why she had, I mean, she says to protect her,
yeah,
but I don't know if I
but
buy
does
that
she
so much.
even end up doing anything?
I don't
Like,
know, not that we see,
yeah,
but it maybe
and then
maybe
she
there's
goes,
more in the works because they did say
oh,
that Netflix leaves this to potentially be more of like a
ooh.
series sort of.
Oh, I would like a sequel. I would watch a
Yeah.
sequel to this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So maybe you find out then. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe they explore more of her detective skills
Mm.
and how she grows on that because she's really by the end of the movie, she just started to learn from Sherlock.
Is Enola Holmes a character from classic Sherlock
No
at
idea.
all?
I
No.
never read him.
Okay.
Yeah, no idea.
I wasn't sure if there was like an anecdote of like she
I
was
not that
like
I
a footnote
read.
or something.
Not that I read. No.
So I have to say, I think this movie. There were times when I loved this movie. There was one portion, about I think it was somewhere in the middle where um, it immediately felt like a Wes Anderson film to me.
Mm.
Like every shot was parallel shot. All the cinematography was just incredibly on point. I think it was when she was at the she went to the mansion to find Dukesbury or
Yep.
whatever his name is, and confronted like the family as the widow. That whole sequence I thought was just so well done. And then there were other times of this film where I was like, it feels like a Disney Channel original movie,
Mm.
especially the lead actor playing against her, Tewksbury or whatever. What was his name? What was the kid's name?
Yeah.
She kept saying it,
Tewksbury,
Tewksbury,
right?
right?
Yeah, that's what she kept calling him.
I didn't like he was fine, but again, he felt like someone who was just like, oh, you're in the right place at the right time. You got the right haircut,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be attractive to the girls that are gonna
Yeah.
want to watch the show, and fine. But it brought it down, and while I loved the fourth wall breaking, it was very much like Saved by the Bell kind of level, not quite Deadpool level, but like Saved by the Bell kind of level. There was one part in it where she asked us for help, and I was like, that's a little too far.
Yeah.
It's just one step too far. You shouldn't have gone there. It just kind of took me out of the movie, and there was a lot of balancing act going on between there where, like I said, I didn't understand what the mother was really doing. I didn't really understand the point of them. But then there was the guy from Torchwood who played the bowler hat guy. He was like their like silent antagonist. And the fight against him at the end, I was just like, oh, this is really cool. And then she knocks him, and you just see him, and he hits his head on a pine cone, and you just feel it.
Yeah.
And you're just, I literally jumped in my seat, and I was like, I couldn't believe that they just showed me that.
Yeah.
Because it was so graphically horrible that this pine cone just went into this dude's head.
It kind of didn't go with the rest of the movie.
No, it didn't. But it was a great shot. And again, that's like the Wes Anderson effect in there, where I was just like, oh, that's just harsh. And then the kid pulls a Back to the Future 3 with a bulletproof vest. I'm like, brilliant, bulletproof vest. This is great. I love it.
Well, so let me ask you this: were you surprised at who done it? Right?
Sort of, not really.
Okay.
I kind of guessed it was going to be someone in that family. I had my eyes on her, on the grandmother, especially once she came and spoke to Enola in the woods in the treehouse. I was like, she's fishy. She's too nice. Whenever there's a nice character like that, you're like, you're fishy.
I never pick up on that stuff.
See, I've stopped saying it because I feel like I ruin movies for you.
You always ruin movies for me.
Because I pick up and I'm like, oh, that's probably that person. But yeah, I stopped saying that, but I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
I still figuring out, like, getting to the why. And that is one of my issues with Sherlock in general, specifically the stories, the shorts by Arthur Conan Doyle. He would leave out information that Sherlock would later be like, oh, you didn't see this and this and this and this, and that clearly tells me exactly who done it. But if I had that information, I could have figured that out, but you
Yeah.
didn't give me that information. It was impossible for us to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I never liked that. Here, I never felt that, so I was pretty happy
Yeah.
with that. But I enjoy
I
it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So where do you rank it? Where
Oh,
would you
we're
put
already
it?
going
Why
to
not?
rankings?
Why not?
Okay, because we skipped right past the joke. I'm just going to
Oh,
say that.
well,
we
go
did
ahead.
we did skip right
Go
past
ahead.
the joke.
Give him the joke.
Give him the joke
Gotta
now
give him
before
the
we do
joke.
the ranking?
Yeah.
All right. So we already did a Sherlock Holmes joke
Yes,
on the
we
show,
did.
which was the superior joke, I will say, just to set the record. And if you want to watch it, you can go back in the Drunk on Writing records. It's about a camping trip. Very good joke. You could also find it on Google very easily. However, this joke seems appropriate given the time of the year. Why are Sherlock Holmes's taxes so low?
Why?
He's a master of deduction.
Oh, very good.
Cute. Little play on words
Very
there.
cute.
So
For
yes,
tax season.
in terms of
Ranking.
our rankings, let's go over the ranking as it currently exists. Starting at number 1. Number 1, Back to the Future / the Back to the Future trilogy. Number 2, Knives Out. Number 3, The Irishman. Number 4, El Camino. Number 5, Free State of Jones. Number 6, Independence Day. Number 7, E.T. Number 8, Nightcrawler. Number 9, Lights Out. I would put this film, and I struggled a little bit with this one. I had it originally a little higher, and I ended up knocking it down a little bit. I would put this film at number 7.
Which is?
Behind Independence Day, but above E.T. Here's the current ranking, if you want to see it, just so you have a visual aid. My finger is awkwardly placed over the screen so as to hide my pick for the next month.
Okay, I'll agree. I'll agree with that.
Would you have put it someplace
I don't know.
different?
Independence Day was okay. It wasn't.
Oh,
my
you
favorite.
completely saw my pick, didn't you?
No, I
Okay.
did not.
I inserted a table somehow doing that.
Oh.
So you would put it also at number 7?
Yeah. Let's
right.
do that. Let's go
All right.
7.
So our new ranking. Wow, I just scrolled way too far. All right. So our new ranking is number 1, Back to the Future / the Back to the Future trilogy. Number 2, Knives Out. Number 3, The Irishman. Number 4, El Camino. Number 5, Free State of Jones, which is still, in my opinion, a little too high. But, it is what it is. Number 6, Independence Day. Number 7, Enola Holmes. Number 8, E.T. Number 9, Nightcrawler. Number 10, Lights Out. Now, I kind of feel bad for the people who really like E.T. because we just crapped on that. But what a weird movie that was.
Yeah.
This is just a weird movie. So, talking of weird movies, Kim.
Okay.
My pick for this month.
Mm-hmm.
And this I am going...
I thought we were going to go with a new movie.
Yes, we are. We are going for a new movie. It also happens to be a weird one. Not the weird one. So, before we're coming into this, I was a little torn on what film I wanted to do. So I said to Matthew as well, should we go with a classic? But I felt like I went with a classic last time with Independence Day, so I didn't want to do that. A new film, which I was kind of feeling, or a weird film. Now, there were new weird films. Mm-hmm. There were just new films. This is the one I chose because it made me chuckle, and this one is a special dedication to Kyle, former workmate of mine who was awesome. Our pick for the next month of Drunk on Writing Show's video club is Cats 2019.
Are you
now
kidding
streaming
me?
on HBO Max. I have never seen Cats the musical.
It's horrible. It's just horrible. It's so bad. Why are you doing that? I
want to watch it. I want to watch it.
I sat through 3 hours.
It's not 3 hours
at
long.
Broadway.
It's not 3 hours long.
Oh, I've seen it on Broadway. I was not a fan.
Well, this is the movie version. Maybe it'll be better. It has Taylor Swift in it. And
Oh,
Idris Elba.
great.
What, do you not like Taylor Swift?
I don't like Taylor Swift.
You don't like Taylor Swift?
Oh, Swifties are going to come for me.
Oh my God.
I don't really like her, but...
How do you not like Taylor Swift? Okay. Anyways.
Oh, one more question about Enola Holmes.
Sure.
Did we have any comments?
Oh yeah, you're right.
I don't want to miss
Yeah,
that.
Amanda. Shout
Okay.
out to Amanda. Says this was a cute movie. It's centered around Enola and her journey to find her mom who disappeared, who happens to be an activist around women's rights and the right for them to vote and willing to go to terrorist level to make a point. While they kept the movie lighthearted and enjoyable, definitely not my top 5, but a good
Yeah.
movie, which I think is pretty much nails
Yeah.
exactly how we both feel.
Yeah. She summed it
Fine,
up.
fine movie, not the top
Yeah.
movie, but a nice, enjoyable. Like it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Like it was fun. It was fine. Yeah, it was something where I walked away. I was like, oh, I had fun. I had fun though. I didn't regret watching it.
Right.
Which like
I'm gonna do for cats.
yeah, probably. Like I didn't need to watch. I always feel bad for Lights Out, but like I didn't need to watch Lights Out.
No.
I liked the short film. I think
Yeah.
more, and I could have gone with that. But yeah, no.
How long is Cats? How did you see how long? How long is it?
This is why I was laughing earlier
That's
when I made
great.
the decision. Like,
Yeah.
oh, this is yeah. I don't know.
Oh, good.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, if you want to leave your comment on Cats over the next month to be included in next month's episode, please do. If you anybody who is a patron can leave a comment at drunkonwriting.com, patreon.com/drunkonwriting, and we will include it in the episode. So long as I remember. Thank you, Kim, for reminding me. And if you are interested in selecting a topic for the show, every patron at the participant level and up gets to do that, and we try to pick from them as much as we can. If we have nothing, then we will definitely come to the public. So yes, tell us if you don't want to become a patron. It's perfectly fine. Enjoy the show. Leave a comment below, and if you provide a topic that we like, we will pick it. So yeah, I as I said every time, definitely we are into the audience participation. So please send us what you got. We'll try to do. I mean, talk about everything from minimum wage to cats and how long the running topic. So we could bring anything here. So and I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy it. I think Kim, you enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Even though I'm making you watch again.
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah.
This has been the latest episode of the Drunk on Writing show. Patrons, stick around. We are going to play a few rounds of siblings or dating. I'm just going to pull up the Instagram and we're going to go nuts. I've been specifically not looking at them so that I wouldn't get spoiled and mess up. But I know that historically I've done pretty poorly on those. So look forward to that. Everyone else, thank you for watching along. If you want to catch all of that, be sure to head on over to drunkonwriting.com and sign up today. Become a patron. Join us. Help the channel grow. We're always trying to grow and do new things. Like I have a second microphone now. Like I didn't have a second microphone last month.
Yeah.
New stuff. But yeah, thank you for joining us. And as always, cheers and keep on writing. Now let's play Siblings or Dating. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just pulling up the Instagram feed and we're just going to go through it. We're going to start at the top, which right now was from 12 hours ago. It's this guy who kind of looks like Ewan McGregor, and she